Hi, everybody. It's been a while since I've done a Facebook Live. So I'm not even in, there we go. It's been a while since I've done a Facebook Live, so I'm not even entirely sure if this is live. So if it is, please say hello. Would love to hear from you. And this camera is looking a little bit different than my Zoom camera. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to adjust my background here. There we go, make it a little prettier for everybody. And I wanted to pop in and see if anybody had any questions that I could answer about special time, any kind of nagging doubts or things that maybe haven't gone as well for you with special time with your kids if you've tried this tool. I'm not going to do a whole soup to nuts what special time is, just simply because there's a podcast for that. I think it's episode 8, and it's less than 20 minutes. It's a really good one. There's a lot of, there's a lot of different things in there. I think I went through why special time is important. I went through what it looks like and some of the guidelines for different ages of kids in terms of frequency and length of time for special time and who it applies to. And then I also gave a few examples of things that were kind of outgrowths of special time with my own kids. I don't remember exactly when I made that podcast, but it was very shortly after we started in quarantine. So a lot has happened since then. Yay, Janelle! Excellent, good to see you. So Janelle, if you have anything at all that has been, bothering you, or a question you have about special time or anything related to special time, please, I can see you. I can see the comment. I have it all set up that way. So, definitely let me know. And no pressure though, because there were, yay, Andrea, happy Friday. I know. It feels like a really excellent Friday to me. I hope it does to you too. It feels like, from a quarantine perspective, at least here where I am in PA, things are starting to open up a little bit. Last weekend, Bob and I took a long weekend. We went to Gettysburg, and that's in a different county, and things were opened up there a little bit more. So we actually got to eat in a restaurant. It was amazing. It was like, wow, I really know how much I had taken that for granted, and so that was just absolutely amazing. So special time. The reason why, I don't know if it feels like to you like I'm always harping on special time. Maybe not. But as as I'm working, and we're a number of us are in this class, Calm Kids, Happy Parents, together, and I'm just having an appreciation for all these amazing pieces of what we do as parents and the tools of positive discipline and other things too. What we're doing is we're taking a look at 4 different layers. We're looking at the tools. We're looking at the atmosphere that we create as parents. We're looking at the next deeper layer being the relationship that we have with our kids. And then sort of the deepest piece being self-awareness and kind of our relationship with ourselves. And being very, very, like, that's right here, right? That's very heart-centered. And when I consider special time is a tool, of course, right? And if we are using it as it's intended, then that means that there's a certain energy around it, a certain component of an atmosphere that we're creating for our family and for our kids. And special time is all about deepening that connection, really allowing, like, really a special time for us to focus on the relationship that we have with our kids and establish a connection, and really, observe them and what's lighting them up and how cool is that, and observe and appreciate who they are so that we can be in in relationship with them as they are, instead of how we, might want them to be, or they should be, or whatever else, kinds of just limited belief systems that we might have taken from places in the past. So it's that focus on relationship, and then also the self-awareness. Like, I didn't really plan this, but I'm going to go there since, I'm live, and this is just coming to me. But so last night, as I knew I was doing this special time thing, I was thinking to myself, like, wow, I haven't really had any scheduled special time with my guys lately, especially one of them. And so I said to him, hey, would you like me to make, hey, Judy, would you like me to make breakfast for you before you go to work tomorrow? And he was like, yeah. Like, teenagers, especially teenage boys, like to eat, right? So I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm like, yeah, what would you like me to make you? And he's like, pancakes. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So this morning rolls around, and there's a couple of circumstances that don't really automatically give me a warm fuzzy, I'll just say. The circumstances aren't necessarily that important in and of themselves, but suffice to say that I was not feeling very warm and fuzzy, and I'm going like, okay, this is good self-awareness, not feeling so warm and fuzzy. I did already have this planned with him, and in fact, he's not going to work because he can't, because he's got some physical thing going on. But I did say I would make him pancakes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do my deep breaths. So I did. I stood at the sink and I took my 5 deep belly breaths, and it felt like forever. And believe me, I was not like, kind of Julia Child or anything after that. I wasn't like, yay, but I was like, okay, be that what it may, like, some stuff happened, he's a kid, he's a teenager, he's not perfect, I'm not perfect, I'm gonna make some flippin' pancakes, pun intended. So I did, and to be quite honest with you, I didn't really know if he was gonna come downstairs and eat them, but he did. And it was kind of like, okay, here's this, this dance that I'm doing, and like I'm like right on the edge of it. This is like I'm right in there with everybody. But I just wanted to share that it's not the kind of the picture perfect special time as I described it in the podcast, being a regular special time, and it was scheduled, okay, but it's not regular. But now my guy's a teen, and and we're in quarantine, and his schedule changes every week, so it's a little bit more challenging with that. And like, as important as I might be in his world, like, that's not the most top of mind thing for him. So I am taking it upon myself every now and again, every week, to be like, hey, what about this? If he doesn't first, sometimes he'll say like, hey, Mom, come on over here, and can we snuggle or whatever. My one guy will say that. My other guy, no, but he'll say, hey, Mom, come on, check out my cap gun. Do you want to, like, fire off a couple rounds and see if you can hit a tree or whatever? And like, this happened a few days ago, and I was like, juggling a few things. I had come upstairs to get myself some tea, and I was like, oh, buddy, I really can't right now. And then I heard myself say the words, and I said, like, really, can I not? Or can I take literally 90 seconds and go outside? I probably can do that. And, I'm not advocating special time being 90 seconds, but, just like the self-awareness, being like, I heard myself, I questioned myself, and I was like, no, I actually can. And then he's going to be off and running and doing his stuff. He's got, he's got work, he's got running, he's got, his friends and whatever. So the fact that he even asked me kind of made me do the little like, like, no, 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 but then, wait a minute, what am I even saying? Like, really? I think I think it would be great to jump on this and sort of like just do like a little watering. Whereas, um, if they were, if I could rewind the clocks back and they were 5 years younger, special time looked different, and it was longer and it was more pre-planned, and it was like taking them to a go-kart track or whatever it was, or going on a hike. I mean, it doesn't have to always cost money, right? Um, so I just wanted to share a little bit of that. Let me see, is there anything else? So actually, as I was going through and doing a little bit deeper research into Jane Nelson is the one who came up with special time, and she came up with it. I believe, I haven't heard her say this, but I've done a lot of deep reading and research of Rudolf Dreikurs, which is one of the guys that she studied to kind of birth positive discipline. And he doesn't say anything about special time. He died in 1972. It was a different era. Like, he was born in the 19th century. So I don't know that there was such a need of it then, maybe, but she recognized the need and how many things came together if parents could spend the time. And she did some really great things in a few of her books. She distinguished special time, because a lot of parents will be like, oh my God, I spend so much time with my kids. Are you kidding me? Like, now I have to whatever? Like, what are you even talking about? I spend a lot of time with my kids. We're in quarantine, okay? I'm spending a lot of time with my kids. Special time is very different. There's kind of have to time, like if, your kids are young and everybody always eats dinner together. Like, that's amazing, and I'm not taking away from that. But they don't really have a choice, right? Like, they're young, and it's like, dinner's ready, boom, they come, and there's no, like, conversation about that, typically. I mean, maybe there is in your house. Like, what do you want to eat? What time do you want to eat? Whatever. But typically, it's kind of like, this is dinner. This is when I'm doing it. This is what I made. And let's have a nice family dinner. But that's not special time, because that's kind of have to time. Another example of have to time would be like, I'm driving you to wherever, and the energy's not so great in the car or whatever, but like, neither one of us has a choice. You have to get there, I have to drive you. That's have to time. And that's fine. It's not special time. Another distinction that she makes is like casual time. Now, I will say, you could kind of characterize, the BB gun thing that I just talked about, and the pancakes, right? You could characterize those, especially the BB gun thing, because that was very impromptu, as more casual time. But so she makes the distinction of scheduling it. So really, if it's totally special time, it's scheduled, and A, they can look forward to it, and B, especially if your kids are younger, and they might be like, I sort of say, like pulling at your skirt, or like, mommy, look at this, mommy, na na na, daddy, da da da, like while you're doing something else that requires your attention, it's a great thing to be able to say, sweetie, I would love to spend time with you doing that right now, but I can't. I have this other thing, but I am so looking forward to our special time where we are going to go outside and play mini golf in the backyard, or whatever it is. And if they're little, you can give them, like, if they can't tell time, you give them like a marker, right? I can't wait until after I chop the vegetables for the salad and then we can blah, blah, blah. Or I can't wait until after dinner when we're going to XYZ. And, you know, if they're a little older, you can say, you know, at 3 o'clock, we're going to do this thing. And right now it's 1:30 and I really have to, you know, get 2 more things done, or at least try to, before I just stop before 3 o'clock so we can do our cool thing. So that's, those are just some distinctions I thought were really good. I wanted to share. Does anybody have any question about any of that? If anybody live does, let me know. And otherwise, after you watch the video, if you're watching it and it's in Facebook, you can comment with any question or aha or anything that comes to you. And if you're watching in YouTube, you can always post a comment in the Facebook group if you're a part of it, or you can send an email, of course. That's another way. It's not a way that everybody else can benefit from, but if you have anything, you can always send me an email at support@relationalparents.org. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I wish everyone a fantastic weekend. And I will say, I do want to say that those deep belly breaths, those 5 deep, and I usually will either be looking out a window when I do it, because that calms me, to be looking outside at nature, or I will close my eyes if I can't be looking out a window, because that also calms me. But whatever calms you, it could be like soft gaze. I know in yoga they'll say like a drishti, just have like a focal point that's not moving, right? And really like inflate your belly and just expel all the air. And one of the students in class like had a great thing that she teaches her littles, which is smell the roses, blow out the candles. So thank you, Liz, for that, to share. That's a great thing to share with littles as well. And it helps me too. Oh, thank you, Andrea. Excellent. I'm glad that you know, some of the real life stuff can help, and also help you see, like, nobody's perfect. And even, it's so funny because I don't know her personally, you know, maybe yet, but I do know that Jane Nelson, she had, I can't remember if it was 6 or 7 kids, but lots and lots of kids. And she had them over the course of years. She didn't have them all in like 8 years. She had them all over, I'm not sure, but maybe like 12 or 15 years, something. And there were a few of them that got the early benefits of some of the work that she was doing, but then like her last 2 or so really got the benefit of all the integration that she had done and the creation of positive discipline. And so she was a very different mom to her last 2 or 3, her youngest kids, than she was to her older. And, you know, many of us these days, I will say, like, are maybe not having kids over a 15-year span. Some of us are. But, like, so for me, the way I look at it, because I have 2, I'm a very different mom than I was when they were toddlers, than when they were young elementary, and, you know, was able to start to show up a lot differently and more beneficially as a parent when they were kind of tweens and now teens. So it's all good. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And if you can breathe into that and start your inner journey of accepting that, that's also really huge. It'll be great for you to start to accept that, and it'll also be great for your kids. So, double blessing, right? There's always a double blessing. All right, everybody, sending so much love and hugs, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Oh, Jane, excellent. I'm so glad you were here. Mwah. Bye for now.